Hello, welcome to the program Project Nigeria. Project Nigeria is about democracy and developmental drive. On this edition of the program, we'll be discussing about 2015 general election in Nigeria with a particular interest of Niger State politics. And with me on the set, a tested administrator and a politician, and his name is Engineer Mustafa Bello. Engineer Mustafa Bello, the immediate past Chief Executive Officer of Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission. He was also once a Minister of Commerce in the Federal Republic called Nigeria. You are welcome to Project Nigeria.
Thank you very much.
For our millions of viewers around the world, can you just simply let us know who is Engineer Mustafa Bello?
Okay, thank you very much. Let me quickly say that I was born in 1954, 31st of January precisely, in Kaduna, but I come from Niger State. So I started my primary education in Kwantagora on the 6th of January 1962 and finished or left, because in those years primary education were normally 7 years. I left in 1968 and then I proceeded to the Arabic Teachers College Sokoto for 2 years, from 1969 January to 1970 December. And then I moved over to Bida Government College from 1971 January to July 1974. By the same July, I joined the School of Basic Studies, Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, for my then equivalent of the A-level, then called Interim Joint Matriculation Board, IJMB, which took 1 year. Now, at the end of that year, by 75 October, I started my degree in civil engineering. I graduated in 1978 with a bachelor's of degree in civil engineering. Then I was posted to then Anambra State to start my national service. Unfortunately, I couldn't conclude the service in Anambra, so I had to proceed to Lagos. And I had my national service with the Directorate of Quartering and Engineering Services of the Nigerian Army based in Bonny Camp, Victoria Island. So there essentially for substantial part of my national service in Lagos. And immediately after that, I joined a private construction company in Kano, which was building the Parliament House, the current Parliament House. And I was keen in working with that company because I wanted to follow a design which I was part of, that I wanted to see how, or the translation of that design into construction. As soon as we were able to get to the roof level, I left the company and decided to join the Niger State Housing Corporation, so as to begin to have an experience in the proper public service. And I was with the Niger State Housing Corporation until 1983 February. Just a few months before the exit of the government of Alhaji Shehu Shagari. And since then, I started practicing my profession. And I will say I was successful, because through it, I was able to interact with so many people, and of course ventured into politics. It surfaced and disappeared with military administrations that came in. In particular, we became even more prominent during the period of late General Abacha, when he came up with about 5 political parties. And that's when we started by wanting to test how our efficacy in Niger State.
How will you describe Nigerian democracy of today?
Well, you see, I mean, when the Western world, for example, that is advanced countries, advanced economies, come making noise that, oh, something has happened, we have done this wrong in our political process, people like me smile. Because if you take, for example, the United States, there are over 200 plus years of practicing the same culture. Just not too long ago, you remember what happened between Al Gore and President Bush. That's just about how many years? 10 years ago, or 9 years ago, when there was issue with the election. So if after almost 200 years, they could have that kind of issue, I don't think anybody should cry foul on Nigeria that is just 15 years. I think what we need to do is to continue to have faith, to continue to consolidate, and then continue to motivate and encourage people who are good, people who believe that they have contributions to make, people who are clean. Because the culture of politics is not for the clean, it's for the dirty. I think we should begin to take the rear seat. Okay. And let's replace it with a culture of actually politics should be for the clean and the responsible. So I will say that we are still progressing, we are still growing. And I think if we continue at the rate we are going with people like me, that I know there are so many of them who believe that they are not in this politics for themselves, but they are there because they have some contribution to make. They have some value to add. They have some creations, to introduce that will add value to the life of the common people and give hope in them and confidence, as well as encourage them to join the political process so as to continue to have better people participating in the entire process.
You declare your intention, your ambition, so to say, to contest for the #1 seat of Niger State last week. What do you think you have that is different from the present governor or those others who will equally have interest in this office?
Well, I think the first thing I will say is that every individual has something distinct to himself, has something unique to himself, and these two things, the distinctiveness and the uniqueness of what I believe I have, which differs from what the governor has or the governor that lived before him, will definitely add more value to the life of the people of the state. I have had more exposure than I can say all the other candidates at the national level and at the international level. I have seen a variety of examples of models that I am not sure whether any one of them has seen, and that I merely seeing a challenge quickly reflect on one such solution that I have seen elsewhere for the benefit of the state. I have known nearly every part of Nigeria. I don't think there is a state that I have not known. Not to talk of so many countries of the world. I can confidently say that I know more countries of this world than the number that I don't, And I have in about 83 countries friends, from presidents to prime ministers to head of government agencies, to head of private sector organizations, to parliamentarians, all this to my credit.
Engineer, let me ask you this question. What do you consider to be the greatest challenge that Niger State is confronting, that you feel that when you come into the power, and when you come into the government office, government house, MENA, you're going to give a priority to? What is that?
Well, in my own opinion, because you see, unless you are in there before you know you get the complete picture. I think Niger State sitting right in the middle of the country. People coming from Lagos by road, they come through Niger. You are coming from Lokoja, and that is the east, you go through Niger. If you come from the northeast, you cut through Niger, either going south or going southwest. You know, so we need to have fantastic access in and out infrastructure. Whether the roads belong to us or they don't belong to us, it is our responsibility that we must have good roads that people can cut through our state easily in and out. The second thing is, which is a major challenge that I have found, is that unfortunately none of our major cities has water supply. Unfortunately, for the last 10 years, we don't have potable water running in our taps. We need to provide that, because the beauty about it is that it reduces the need for people to go to hospitals. It enhances sanitation. It keeps people well and healthy. Now, it reduces the need for them to use their income to support themselves when they contract a health challenge. And then it minimizes even the health budget of government. So there are so many multiplier effects related to providing people with clean water. So we need to address that one. Then we need to go down to the grassroots and be able to make sure that our children in the rural area have access to good means of living, access to good education, and access to good means of, Medicare. Now, once you can structure this, because these are the key challenges that the state has, which are very serious. If you can structure this, then any other thing, falls online.
If you are at home, we would just like to take a short break and we're back. My guest has been Engineer Mustafa Bello, the former Chief Executive Officer of NIPC, and is also a PDP governorship aspirant in Niger State. Welcome back. The program is Project Nigeria, and my guest is Engineer Mustafa Bello, a governorship aspirant under the platform of People Democratic Party in Niger State. You are welcome back, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, let's look at your party in Niger State, the PDP, and let's look at the internal democracy. Do you think with what is on ground and what is available today, we guarantee free and fair PDP governorship primary in the state?
Well, for on tradition, governors normally have their way. But the party at the center, which is at the national level, has made it very clear that it may not allow that kind of thing to happen again. So which means the party at the center will be willing to ensure that a transparent primary process takes place. And this is what I hope will happen. And if that happens, definitely, I don't think I have a very serious challenge. Definitely, and that is if at the ward level, we will have proper election of delegates, and then the same delegates will be the ones to cast their ballots to determine who becomes the candidate for the party. So for now, I have that hope that the party at the national will definitely make sure that things take shape and proper things are done.
So let's look at the specific.
Right.
You want to be the governor of Niger State, if you are given the mandate. What are the programs you have in mind to better the lot of the Niger people?
Okay, what I've done is, and to show myself different from others, is to speak more on technical issues. You know, because traditionally we have had, from when I was like this, we will do roads, we will do water, we will do education, everything will be listed. So what I have planned, I took the first item, which I described as social security, you know, human capital development and rural development, human capital and rural development. Now, under the social security, our major target is women. And these women include from the youngest, the girl child, the so-called girl child, you know, to the youth, who have become a major security threat to the society. Now, how do we engage them? How do we develop their capacities? Those of them who need to go to school, how do we send them back to school? How do we give them the good schools, not only sending them to the schools, but how do we give them good schools that they go into so that when they come out, they become productive? Now, under the social security is to address this, from employment to getting access to knowledge, education. And under the rural development, already there is a program which I mentioned in that the governor borrowed from me. They call it Word Project. Now we intend to institutionalize the word itself, so as to become a recognized entity by law that can function directly within the enclaves or the confines of its boundaries and provide all the requirements and the needs of the people within that area. Then we take, agriculture. Now agriculture, what I discover is missing is not what is being provided to people on a daily basis, and that is tractor for traction and then fertilizer. These are the two issues. Every time a governor comes, we'll give you fertilizer, we'll give you tractor. It's much more than that. The knowledge sector of the agriculture is what is actually had been relegated to the background. We need to revive the extension officer service. We don't have them. We need to get back our forestry officers. We don't have them. Under sanitation, we need to get back our sanitary inspectors. We don't have them. So we need to get our institutions that can mold these products back, that can help the farmer. And once you have them, giving a farmer a tractor and a fertilizer becomes an easy thing, because he will now get guidance from these experts who are consultants. So we need to do that. Then we will take what we call soft and hard infrastructure components of the sectors that we need to. I refuse to talk about roads, education and so on and so forth. What we require to develop here are what are the infrastructure we need to have good education? What is the infrastructure we need to have good health? What is the infrastructure we need to have good access to the rural areas? What is the infrastructure we need to have access to clean water and sanitation? Now, all these ones, we will take them. Under the soft, you are talking of the legal and the regulatory. Under the hard is the physical infrastructure. Then we spoke about the need for us now to focus on the knowledge sector, the entire terrain of knowledge, and this comprises information technology and education. Education is important because it liberates one from ignorance. But information technology infrastructure is important because it helps you deliver and retrieve. You can access information from anywhere in the world through the information technology infrastructure. It can support education, it can support medicine, it can support transportation, it can support aviation, it can support any sector, mention any sector. Information technology, good information technology infrastructure will be able to provide you that kind of support. So we limited ourselves to these 5 key areas, and that 5th is the economy. The economy, we intend to look at what are the advantages that exist for us to take, and use to enhance our revenue generation. Simple example, take our proximity with FCT. Ogun State is benefiting from Lagos. Why don't we at this end? We are again neighbors to Benin Republic. Why don't we take advantage of that too, to see what we can make out of that? Why don't we create special economic enclaves, special economic zones to attract industries? I have seen by my eyes where industries are asking us as a state, create something for us we want to locate. Unfortunately, no such infrastructure exists. So we'll look at the entire state and do a complete survey of these advantages. Models exist worldwide of similar kind of situation like Niger State. That all we need to do is just cut and paste. Copy what they have done there, customize it to our environment, and now run it. So that we will now minimize our leaning on the federal government for income to what we can generate internally through our innovative, processes that we'll put in place while in government. So basically, this is what I just want to say. And I remain technical because I don't want people to steal my ideas. When I become the candidate, then the greater details are rolled out.
I'm sure you have also factored in stomach infrastructure. That's the
No, but that's the issue of agriculture I spoke to you about.
Okay.
That's the agriculture. As long as you are able to make a farmer enhance his yield from 1 to 5, you increase his income, you reduce the cost of the production. You make food available to the people at a much cheaper rate. And of course, the income in the pocket has better value than when it can't give you as much as what you desire.
Do you have any specific program for Nigerian diaspora? Or also, how do you attract investment?
Under the item of human capital, we intend to take stock of our entire human resource, both internally and externally, to try to identify in which parts of the world these resources are, in which sectors of the world these resources are engaged, in which parts of the economy can they be of benefit to us, and how do we link up with them, to use them directly, as human capital, or to use them directly as a capital for investment in the Niger State economy.
If you did not succeed this time around, will you remain a PDP member?
Obviously, certainly. I mean, even the last time, we just took, it was a transit, and we used a party that was inconsequential to showcase our strength, to show how strong we are on the ground. That we are not using the party because the party was strong, but we are using the party because we just must use a vehicle to be able to actualize that. So, but this time I think we have gotten to a level that I am not sure that it will be impossible this time, because every indicator points at the possibility. All the serious persons that we have in Niger who know what is important, what has value to the state, I think are of the opinion that I may be the best of all the contenders. So I am not sure whether what happened in 2003 will repeat itself.
Possibly, we wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
Well, this is much we can take on this program, Project Nigeria. My guest has been Engineer Mustafa Bello, a PDP governorship aspirant in Niger State. Hope to see you again as we bring you another fresh edition of the program. Thanks. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir.